Welcome, busy gamers. Today we're going to be looking at The Last Spell. If you're already familiar with my First Look series, feel free to skip straight to the gameplay or the discussion section. And if you're looking for the full review, I'm going to be putting it in the end card and the show notes as soon as it's posted. So what's a first look? For me, those first few minutes of a game are very crucial. They set a tone and they determine if the game's going to grab me for the long haul. This series, I'm going to be bringing you along as I first step foot into a game. I'll put a timer up for 30 minutes, and as I play, I'll give you my live thoughts and reactions before I give a short summary at the end. So The Last Spell was developed by Ishtar Games, and it's a tactical RPG with roguelike and tower defense elements. Maybe that's too much, who knows? The game is broken into two phases. The day phase where you prepare your defense and make repairs to damage that has been done to the city, and then the night phase where a wide variety of monsters come at your walls. There's a lot of variety here with your ability to customize the party of heroes according to your desired playstyle. So, can we last long enough to cast the last spell? We're going to be seeing here. Now, I am absolutely excited because I both enjoy roguelites and tower defenses, as well as card-based battlers, and it seems to be a little bit of the three. Let's head on and see how this one goes. Alright, here we go with the last spell. First things first, I kind of like the whole rock aesthetic to the music here. I don't know that I was expecting that. There may be a bit too much cutscene here early. As always, I tend to skip this for you folks. That way you don't get too much of a spoiler. And as a good, just get into the gameplay. Alright, first things first. We will go ahead and give you a quick summary of what the story was for you. So the general story was that basically mages had created what were the magical effect of nuclear weapons. They were wiping out hundreds of thousands of folks over and over again. And that caused a few problems, of course. So basically there became no war, it just became annihilation. And then we started to hang mages in punishment. There aren't many people left in the world, but that magic has left after effects in which monsters come out at night. The mages have devised a solution: banish all magic from the world. That way none of this can happen again. So that's really where we're at. We're at the last bastion of humanity, and we're going to be going from there. So this is kind of a pixelated, classic art style. I'm into the indie look. That's a thing for me. Now my timer's a little bit over some of the characters here. I might move that out to the middle for you. Alright, all settled. So, defend the last bastion of humanity with your squad of heroes. While the mages try to banish all magic, exterminate fiendish monsters by night, rebuild battered cities by day. Next, protect the magic circle night after night until the mages break the seal. Haven is lost if Magic Circle is destroyed or if all heroes are dead. Okay, during deployment phase, position heroes by placing them just outside the city. Camera can be used WASD, so standard controls. Edge panning. Camera grip with mouse button 3. Okay. Direction of the incoming hordes are shown from the commander's journal. Okay. So I don't necessarily see... Okay, it says from the southeast. So southeast, they're going to be coming this direction this time. And then we kind of have a graphic here that shows them coming as well. So that's pretty useful. Position your heroes. So I suppose we are probably moving these guys out. Let me see. I'm clearly not completely understanding that here. Raquel. And then it looks like this guy is an archer. So we've got two fighters and an archer at the moment. They are all outside. Now it says the hordes are coming. Show incoming direction. There they are. There's no real start button here, so not 100% sure what we should be doing now. I have that guy behind something. Move this guy up a little bit. I think get the archer behind something. He can just kind of stay there. So I've kind of moved. Oh, end phase. Here we go. So deployment is done. I love the smell of mist in the evening. So clearly, you see, I'm just not reading our books. During the night, repel monsters until they're dead. Move your heroes, use their skills in any order you'd like. Okay, so we've got skills on them. Heroes' available skills that depend on the gear they have equipped. skill 1, 2, 3, etc. Yep. And then we can kind of see them. So a straight arrow, inaccurate, increasing the target's dodge the further they are. Makes sense. Power shot. Okay, penalties applied before. So we just have normal arrow, low damage, power shot. And so it looks like they have a limited amount of use. I can use this one time, and it kind of gives the highlighted locations of both what my range is and how many times it's going to last. These bags here are some form of resource generation. So I'm going to guess blue bags are mana, and the other is general action points. So we'll have we get 6 mana back per turn. Good to know. And then we've got a movement, so I'm selecting their actions each time. Let's just do a straight arrow to this guy. And he immediately dies. So I would then have to move up to hit anyone else. So let's just go ahead and move out here. And that does take some of my movement. Cancelable until you cast a skill. So I had 7 movement on the archer. Now we have a rain of arrows and a pretty good range on that. I like the idea of hitting 5 things at once here. So let's go ahead and just rain of arrows just because. Taking out a bunch of stuff. I may be wasting arrows. Then we're going to move him. No, we're not going to move him just yet. We're going to... He's got 2 more actions. Let's get that straight arrow out there. We'll kill one more. Kill one more. So the archer doing some strong work, and then we're just going to move him back for his last couple. Now I don't know if the direction they're facing matters. It does in a lot of games. So I could have Bruno go up. It doesn't really seem like that would be super useful. So we may go ahead and just have Bruno pause and not do anything. So we can brace ourselves, do it once per turn. Then jump over obstacles. We're for sure going to brace ourselves. Applies to, it's a buff. Okay. And then we have a stomp, which is a melee range, a crush, a little bit of a range, and a bash. But he only has 6 more movements. We could get here. We couldn't really do anything once we're there. We have to basically do nothing here. Magic missiles. This is actually a mage with decent range, 3 to 8, 1 to 8, transfer, give back a portion of an so action points, move points, damage. I'm not really sure exactly what this one is transferring. Sword of Damocles, 3 to 8. So all this stuff is pretty good range. Let's see what happens. Okay, so I'll definitely have her move up. She's got plenty of move. That way we can do a little bit more damage to these guys. Let me see. We also have magic missiles, which is, yeah. So nothing is AOE from her. Just the single thing is AOE. That's kind of a bummer, I would say. Let's go ahead and take the rest of these guys out. It's wasting a little bit of power, I think. That's the only downside we've got going on here. We're wasting power. Use that 4 times. No action points. You're done with your turn. Hit the end turn button. Trigger the Horde's turn. Okay. So I've got one more action. Let's go ahead and fortify. And then let's move her back. See, then can I change the way they're facing? I don't seem to be able to change the way they're facing. That's the only thing I don't really like about this. So Bruno still has action points, but it just doesn't really seem like there's anything for him to do. We'll move out in the way, and then we'll end our turn. I have unresolved stuff. Yep, I don't really see anything for me to do. Oh, there's way more. I definitely shouldn't have used my AoE there. Health and mana are not fully restored every day. Each hero's mana regen and health. I assume when it says every day, it means every turn, because I definitely restored mana on that turn, I believe. Unit's health goes under a certain threshold, they become wounded. Blood droplet. Okay, so there's effects for being wounded as well. Well, let's go ahead and come up and engage. We definitely want to get some engagement done here. None of that is great. Move here. Damage some things in a line. Blood, blood, blood. Okay. Interesting. I don't really know exactly what he's trying to do. That's the only downside. Can attack in a line. He does a fair amount of damage, it seems like. He's out of movement, so he's going to end up staying there. There's not a whole lot we can do here. We could smash the ground. That doesn't seem worth it. We've used that twice. It's not going to let us use it again. Let's just do some melee attacks over here. We're not going to be able to reach anybody else. Okay. So we'll just fortify again. And that seems good. We'll have our archer move up as well. You know, I may be overextending. It definitely seems like I am. Very hard to say. So the volley comes back. The rain of arrows comes back. These things come back every day. It's definitely good to see. So I could have him come up further as well. Again, we might be overextending. Hard to say. So it's a little hard to position as well. It's pretty impactful though. It's pretty satisfying to have that happen. We're blowing through our mana. That's really the only thing I see as being an issue here. We do get all of our actions back there. And so then I still have 3. Can kind of move him back. Make sure that he's not hanging out up top. And we've got our mage. Our mage is going to move up. I'm really disappointed that she has no AoE. This is all 1, 1, 1, and 1. I find that to be pretty disappointing, pretty lackluster on her part. I don't understand what transfer does. I can transfer action points and move points. Okay, so now I understand. I can let this guy go a little bit more, or I can just use her attacks. We'll probably just continue to use her attacks in all honesty. I don't know how much benefit I'm gaining. We'll transfer a little bit to him. Let's see if I can do what I want to do with it now. He would need just a little bit more, it seems like. She can transfer just a little bit more. I don't know that this is the most strategic thing to do, if I'm being honest. I definitely wasn't. I forgot that I was out of the one that allows me to go twice. Or that would allow me to attack into it twice. Should just have move left. Let's just end our turn, move on. Definitely playing this slow here as we're kind of learning it. Okay, they're also just bypassing me, so I don't think I expected that. This guy's coming in. He's just attacking my defenses. Definitely not something I expected. So we'll move. Attack that guy. At least she does kill there. We'll have this guy come in and attack down the line. And then we'll probably have him go ahead and use his smash here. Pretty cool. It stunned those guys. Definitely interesting. Get him to move and kind of attack down this line again. I like that the warrior is, I don't want to say salty. Salty is the wrong word, but he's got all that extra energy. All right, so we have ran out of attacks for him now. It's good to see that this guy's going to be able to do big attacks every single turn. That's very important, it seems like, for me to be able to do that. I wish I could rotate these so that they could then face any direction I wanted them to. That would be huge. Okay, we got a little talking out of him this time. And let's go ahead and move him over where he can kind of tight volley into here. I think 4 is going to be the most we're going to be able to hit. We'll hit the closest 4. My mana sure dries up quickly. Okay, so I am overusing that. It's possible I should just stop. But we haven't really been doing much else. We'll just end that turn. 4 action points. Nope. We should not end that turn. We've got our mage. Take out the stragglers. Do it real fast. Out of range, out of range. Okay, out of range here. Move forwards. Done. Again, the transfer is nice, I suppose. We can transfer here, and he can hit that guy. We do have a little bit going. He seems to hit a little harder, so that's good. Blood has been spilled. Okay. All right. So there is a continuous amount of these guys. Their turn wasn't super stellar, but they are starting to kind of encroach in what I'm doing. So an enemy within your haven or damaging its buildings will cause panic. At the end of the night, panic level determines your rewards. Okay. So the further they get, the worse it's going to be for me. Makes sense. I don't know if I thought it would be all or nothing, but that absolutely makes sense. We only have one move left. We'll probably wait here then. Tight volley again. Put there. And we'll attack these guys. 2. We're out. Girl can go. I don't feel like we have anything that's too crazy good one way or the other. Again, if she had something that was a little bit more of an AoE, we would be very happy, I think. She does not. And then let's transfer into the warrior. And we'll have him come up to here. Wipe out 2 more. Okay. Got close. He has 2 action points left, but he has 1 move. We can move him 1 up. He can just continue to take hits, or he can go 1 over. Smash this guy. I honestly think we got everything this time. 1 action point. 2 heroes didn't move. Just don't know that I need them to move. We'll move them around. Move around for fun. Some corpses over there. I'm sure people aren't super happy. An action point left. This guy is starting to take quite a bit of damage. It's maybe a problem. Sword of Damocles. Let's get the warrior out of the way. He is in danger. So we've got all of this mess. Have him go here. Then we'll have him smash in this direction. He hasn't moved at all, so we've got a couple. We got 1, 2 attacks, which should get 1 and 2. And then he's going to need to get out a little. We'll move him to here in case we need to transfer some power. And we get 3 of them in that for 2 action points. That is still worth it. I need more mana. He definitely didn't. I don't know, maybe I'm not generating 6. Only partially restored every morning is defined by. Okay, so I'm just blowing through it. I shouldn't be using it here. There's definitely a thing that I'm just not understanding well. Probably shouldn't have done that either. This probably hurts just a little bit worse. Yep, it definitely does. And it only takes 1, which is good. Come here, that guy as well. You're out of actions on the archer. Have this girl go. Just really hoping she'd wipe that one out. Everybody is down to virtually nothing though. Transfer to the warrior. Have the warrior go. He has his double attack here. Got them both. Then we'll kind of move him back. He's hurt. And let's see what we got left. We've got 2 action points here. We can hit 2 of them. We should be able to take both out. And then we just have these 2 left. Alright, quick and easy. I am using my mana poorly. That's something 100% that I would say. Just 100%, I'm just using it poorly. But we're done. These wipe ups. Stench smells like victory. Another night survived. Okay, so we've got our experience. Basically, just playing through that without night very slowly. 143 experience from killing those guys. Killed 13 and 52, more than I expected. Everybody went to level 2, and then it shows how much each individual person cleared. 38 health lost. And then we show money. Okay, so let's see. City Panic increases when the enemy is stunned. Okay, so basically I had no panic. There's nobody in here. No panic levels. We went all the way across. Got an item. We got an A rating. Again, we probably blew too much resources there. +8 on something across. During production phase, you can rebuild, enhance your heroes. Commander's Journal serves as a reminder. Okay. Multiple resources. Gold is used for building, structure, and buying equipment. Materials are used for defenses. Workers are used to trigger active abilities of buildings and replenish every day. Okay. We've got a night reward item. Got level up for everybody. Increase primary and secondary attributes. Reinforce a strength or alleviate a weakness. Excellent. Okay. So, you can choose to make him brainy. That seems silly. Agitated -7. +8 physical. -10 daily health regen. Wow. That seems bad for him. And then we pick a primary attribute. Resistance reduction. Flat reduction applied to the resistance of target enemies. There's actually quite a bit here. Critical health, health going up, damage going up by 5%. Just a flat damage increase seems really good. Or resistance reduction being rare, we'll go ahead and choose that. And then I guess I have to choose one of these things. So agitated -7 mana seems to have no benefits. I'm very confused by that. So I just lose 7 mana, or I just gain... Okay, this is not a selection. This is not a selection. It's just what Bruno is. Okay, so there's nothing to pick there. His mana went up by 5. His health went up. Okay, I'm just not really 100% sure what I'm doing here. Rusty Hammer. So these are his equipment pieces. Go to perks. Build your own combination of passive abilities to specialize playstyle your heroes. Heroes have varying perk trees, so check them out carefully. Heroes gain 1 perk per level up to 11. You can pin desired perks. Okay, that's very excellent. There's actually more depth to some of these than I expected. Can sprint. Restore move points in exchange for health. I mean, I don't know that I want that. +6 mana. Increase by 3 for each level of the hero. That seems good. I don't know if this is mana reduction or just total mana, though. I mean, mana regen or total. Steady aim. Hero didn't move. Nope. Useless for this guy, I feel like. Quick reload. Restore 1 use to the skills of the current weapon. Shear. Allowing to buff the damage of an ally. -1 move point and +1 range. Can also target enemies. That seems quite good. This guy does struggle with the loss of health, so or the loss of move points. So maybe I should. I think it's sprint or leapfrog for me. For now, we're just gonna go with leapfrog, I believe. Whenever the hero spiky counter, that seems excellent. I wonder exactly how these are unlocked, right? Well, we'll see that. Character details. I had to click it twice. Pick a secondary attribute. Poison damage. Modifier applied to poison damage. I don't think I have any poison at the moment. We'll just take the nice version of physical. All good. We spent quite a while with that guy. Let's level up somebody else. So all common health, physical resistance reduction. I'm just gonna take extra damage with this guy. And secondary, applied to the damage delta isolated targets. Not great. I wish we had this daily health regen on the warrior. Damage per tile. We're still gonna take the daily health regen, just in case. So we have 6 daily mana regen, some negatives to critical. So I'm glad we didn't It's interesting. I've got negative and positive to critical, so we've got a -6 overall. And then we've got plus to daily mana regen and negative to daily mana regen. It's very awkward. I don't really know how I feel about that. I'm sure we can trade these long term, but definitely awkward. Are these the same? Fatality, you can execute enemies in melee under 10 health. Mana growth, again, I wish I knew if this was regeneration or not. Cheer, quick reload. Skill allowing to restore 1 use to all the skills of the current weapon. Leapfrog, steady aim. I like the accuracy and the skill range. He's an archer, we're 100% going there. Easy choices. Alright, go back to Raquel. This is my mage. So, mage probably needs more health. Accuracy isn't terrible, though I think it didn't seem like she needed it. Let's just take health, especially its uncommons, quite a bit more health. And then healing, receive magic damage, we're taking the magic damage. Quick and easy on those. Fatality still, mana growth. Probably going to be mana growth for her. So she actually used so much less of it than the archer. So, bag equipment slot, you reload. Let's just assume that eventually... Oh, the +1 skill range is so good though. I'm going to take +1 skill range for the ranged character. We move down the road. We have a knight item. It is... we get to choose. I like that. So, two-handed ranged weapon. That seems good. Extra accuracy. We have more armor. We have worn pants, so dodge rating and 6 mana. Or armor and loss of accuracy. So basically, I think we're looking at a bow. I'm almost certain we're going to be taking a bow here. 76 to 106. This actually seems almost worse. I guess it... Yeah, that seems worse. I don't really understand. I guess we get +5 accuracy. Okay, let's check out Bruno. Let's see what the difference in his armor is. So we would be losing some dodge rating and critical rating to get more armor. Very odd. And 5 more mana. I think we're still gonna take this. Fur pants versus worn greaves. Actually, that's probably bad. We'll take the pants. We'll see what we can do. Build new structures. Construction of structures is the Z button. Let's see what that is. Structures, defenses, repair. Okay. Guess I'm a little confused here. We can build a mana well. Max mana every production phase. Can restore mana to heroes during the production phase with the help of workers. The only one we can make. The shop exists already. The temple exists already. I'm gonna build this mana well for sure. Okay, so it only takes 1 space to build and then it takes up more spaces in the long term. I should have built other things. City stash. So we've got this thing here. 2 different weapon sets, can swap freely at any given time. Consumable items. Interesting. Okay, there's a lot going on there. We will change those pants out. Hopefully we can sell those other pants at some point. Go to the shop. Yes, we could. So indeed we can sell these somehow. Yep, there we go. Double click on that. Got a wooden short bow, so we've got a lot of stuff here. Base damage still not really better, but we have better block and better armor off of it. That's nice. Medium helmet with more dodge. Rusty shield. We have some solid stuff going on here. I don't really used to yet. So same block, but extra move points. Definitely something we want for Bruno. We're probably buying too much too early here. We'll go ahead and buy him a shield. And we'll try to change out his equipment. Probably need to go to City Stash. And we use it from here. Okay. So some of this is like not 100% intuitive to me. I know we're at 30 minutes. We're going to go ahead and kind of at least finish this phase. So the new structure is good. We bought some gear, kind of explored both of those things. Build some defenses. So when we click on defenses, we have barricades. Doesn't block line of sight. Can be built outside of the haven. Wooden wall. Won't hold for long. Doesn't block. Okay. So the wooden wall would go here. And does seem to just extend what exists. So I don't know if it's maybe a good idea to do that and be blocking off the rest of this, right? So now in theory, nothing can get in. Okay. So what other defenses do we have here? Reinforced wooden wall at 20 materials. Where is my material count? 76. Wooden gate. Just like a wall. Added benefit of letting heroes through. Okay, so basically a hero can go in and out. And right now we couldn't. Doesn't look like there's anything to repair. So we won't really build anything here. We'll assign some workers. So production only increases max health. So one use during restores 40 health to the target hero. Heal. Blessing grants 24 max health to the target hero. Offering. So these things all cost money. 40 health to all heroes if we assign a worker to it. Okay, let's do that. And then restores 6 mana to the target hero. 1 use per, restores 8 mana to all heroes. Let's assign another worker there. Seems like we've got both of them. And then we would be back to hordes incoming again, it seems like. So that's kind of our phase. We've got our production phase, and then we have our build phase. We're going to go ahead and stop there, and I'll just give my quick thoughts on the first round. Okay, we have finished our first 30 minutes of the last spell. Overall, I thought the general setup, the gist for it, the story seemed like it would be intriguing and interesting for a game of this nature. I really like tower defense, and so the aspect of tower defense to this does really intrigue me. The enemies just kind of walking past me instead of always swarming and attacking me was interesting. I think I expected that. Overall, I would say combat, pretty good. Very simple, very streamlined, but pretty good. There's plenty to look at, plenty to dive into here. And so overall, I'm going to say combat I think is good so far in a very first impression. I will also say I think the music is pretty excellent for a game of this nature. It manages to seem less generic than many of this nature as well, especially for an indie game. Comes off really well. It has a bit of a rock background. It has a bit of that melodic old indie type background, but it's clean and it sounds good. I like the give and take between the phases. It seems like there's a lot to do in the production phase, and then there's a fairly simple tower defense phase, and again, I think those are sectioned out well. When it comes to the bad for this particular game, for me, I would say what I expect to be the bad here are a bit of clarity, right? So for me, there were a few things that I just didn't really understand when it came to this. I think the commander's journal is laid out well, and I think it does guide you through it well, so I can build structures, I can buy gear, I can build defenses, I can assign workers, etc. All of that is decent, but there wasn't really a tutorial that says, hey, here's the basics of this, here's the basics of this, here's what you want to do, and kind of giving you a guide or an idea of what things are going on and what things are happening. And so I think there are some clarity issues here that the game is probably going to suffer from a bit. That being said, once you have a little bit more time and can kind of sit back and really read the tooltips, I don't think that's going to be an issue. But from an efficiency standpoint, which this game is kind of, well, this channel is all about getting in and having fun immediately, I think it's going to have some struggles there. Efficiency overall, relatively good. Other than that, I think that I would be able to get out and save at any time. I have no idea what the overall run length is, so I clearly didn't die. I spent 30 minutes here. I would guess those runs, each roguelike aspect are actually going to be quite long, and so that could negatively impact the efficiency score overall as well. Another thing that I would say is kind of bad here, I don't really particularly like the art. I'm typically into the old school aesthetic, but for me, you know, we're just kind of leaving a bunch of corpses down here, but it more looks like trash and rags. And then, you know, our face styles and things of that nature are just a bit off for me. They're okay, but they're just a bit off for me, and just a little okay, and so I think it could be done better. That being said, is it a deal breaker? Absolutely not. and I am currently looking forward to giving this game a lot more playtime as we go forward throughout the rest of the review. I hope you liked this, and if you did, consider to give me a like or a subscription. I'll see you in the next video, and have a great time gaming.